Truffles. You found for Love and Chocolate with Mr. and Mrs. Truffles. You fill up my senses like a night in the forest, like a mountain in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. Come, let me love you. Come, love me again.
Oh, Mr. Truffles.
Oh, you heard that?
You are in a mood today.
You heard that, Mrs. Truffles?
You want to talk about love?
I thought I was singing all by myself in my own head.
You want to talk about love?
I always want to talk about love.
You want to talk about chocolate?
I think I want to talk about love.
Let's talk about love. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah.
To episode number 5.
Yeah, we're kind of in this dreamy mood right now, aren't we? Mm-hmm. So one of the things that has become so evident, I mean, we've talked about the fact that we live together, we work together, we play together, and now we're doing a podcast together, which is its own thing. I mean, I know it's not possible for every couple, but I recommend it because it really does take us to the next level of whatever this is. At least for me, it does.
You left out one thing.
What's that, babe?
One important thing.
Please.
We have 3 dogs together. We're raising 3 dogs together.
Yes, that's important. We are. But what's so interesting about doing a podcast with you is that I'm still discovering things about you after all this time we've had together, and with every day, with every episode, I love you a little bit more. Oh. Yeah, I do, and I feel like it's so important for couples to really just take a moment every day to really look into each other's eyes and just say one thing that you love about that person. Just an affirmation. It sounds a little corny, but, can you imagine, like every morning, if I wake up and I just say...
Well, what would you say to me today?
Today?
Mm-hmm.
I think I would say that I love your eyes. Not only they're beautiful, but, they're windows into your soul. And there's so much going on there. I can see when they smile. I can see when they're sad. I can see when they're pensive. I can see when they're bright and shining. I can see when they're distant, and I can see when they're cloudy. It just tells a story, Your eyes tell me a story every day.
I get that same thing from watching the puppies' tails. You can always tell their mood by their
what's
tails.
happening.
I
right?
do. I can tell if they're upset or if they're happy.
Yep.
If they're wagging, if they're scared.
Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying? Like if you, because I think we do it naturally, the two of us. I think we're always elevating each other and telling each other how much we love one another and what we appreciate about each other. But
well, I know it's a great way to start the day.
It really
and it's
is.
certainly a good practice to take a moment to love on the one you love every day.
Mm-hmm.
People get so caught up. All the best things are right there at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have to recognize it and appreciate it.
That's
right.
right.
Right? Yeah, I love seeing couples when they're together. They don't even have to be in a warm embrace, but you can see body language. You can see how much love there is. If they're just touching toes or holding hands or just kind of nestling up to each other.
I kind of notice that a lot with couples who come into our store, that they often have this very loving body language.
Well, that is a thing about our store, is how people already come in happy.
And in love.
And in love, yeah.
And they go out
even
more in love.
Maybe.
Happier.
It seems like it. That's what makes...
Well, that's what happens when you eat chocolate. It just releases those...
Endorphins? Yeah. That chemical release that... I mean, I don't know if we talked about this before, but there's sometimes I'll give a customer, typically a woman, a champagne
really?
truffle. Uh-oh, I'm in big trouble. You know, if I give a woman a champagne truffle that she's never had before, and she tastes it for the first time, there's usually, she'll go away for a minute. She does not want to make eye contact with me
And
or
you should probably not be telling this story to your wife. You may not be allowed to pass out champagne truffles to women anymore.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you do come into the store, please ask Mrs. Truffles for a champagne truffle. I've been banned.
I'll watch you go away for a moment.
Banned.
Whatever.
Been banned from ever giving away five Swiss chocolate.
Every once in a while you tip your hat in the wrong direction.
You fill up my sense. Can't sing your way out of this one, Mr. Truffles. Well. You know what's going on now, Mrs. Truffles.
Well, Mr. Truffles, we have a very good show today.
Yes, we do.
And I'm very excited. We have some excellent questions. I just sort of gave it a glance. There's some really good questions in the mailbox.
Oh, fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we have an amazing couple.
Yes.
Funny, fun.
And married a long, long time.
But before we get into that,
yeah,
I think you know
what time
it is.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mrs. Truffle, shall we? So this is from MB in LB. Okay, here we go. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Truffles, I've recently started dating a woman that I really like. I've been taking her out for the past few weekends, and we're really having a nice time together. But there's one thing that is starting to really bother me. She always orders way more... She always orders way more food than she can possibly eat and takes most of it to go. It's really starting to add up. What should I do? Oh, my God. That sounds like an SNL sketch.
We asked a lot of dating questions.
Oh, my God. You're dating a hoarder. So she's probably petite, but she's ordering like the 48-ounce prime rib.
Yeah.
With all the fixins.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she takes a bite, and then she gets like a doggy bag, like a 15-pound doggy bag. Oh, my God, you poor son of a bitch. Listen, I mean, the options are just say, hey, I'm really happy to feed you and your extended family, but maybe you... No, he can't ask her to pitch in. I think he's just got to...
Yeah, I think that, if you really like her and want to keep seeing her, that you should just let her do her ordering first, as I'm sure you always let the lady go first, and then just maybe comment and say, yeah, that's a lot of food, and that all sounds delicious. Why don't we just share that?
Yeah.
And then maybe she'll start to get the message.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to be used, MB and LB.
Poor MB and LB.
Yeah.
Well,
but good luck with that,
Thank
sweetie.
you for writing in, and I hope we helped even a little bit.
Well, we've got something here from someone calling themselves Lily P.
Lily P.
Okay. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Truffles, I love your show, and I hope you can give me some guidance. I recently moved to LA from the Midwest after a bad breakup. I work remotely from home and haven't had too much of an opportunity to meet people. I've tried dating online, but I'm not having any luck. I feel like a fish out of water here, and I'm afraid that I come across that way online. My best friend, who is still living in Iowa, says that I am a person of marvelous subtleties.
Ooh.
Marvelous subtleties, I love that. And that I would do much better meeting someone in person. I'm not sure how or where to do that. How did people used to do it before online dating was around?
Well, Lily, hold on, let me take my dentures out and I'll give you my assessment of the situation. But it was a long time ago that we were kind of on the dating scene, like we were looking for love. It was many, many eons ago.
I've never done online dating. And during the time that I was single before we met, I met you at the Honor Bar, getting takeout.
That's right.
And the boyfriend before you, I met at Piccolo Paradiso, waiting for the restroom. And the guy I dated before that, I met, actually, I was buying something for my little girl in a children's shop, and he was buying a gift for somebody in there.
Okay, remember, sweetie, it's just a 40-minute podcast.
Oh, okay, because I could go on.
Nope, I think we're good.
You just never know when you're going to meet someone waiting in line for a coffee, waiting in line for a concert ticket.
Yeah.
But you got to be out there.
Yeah, there's 100% certainty that you will not meet someone in person if you were holed up in your apartment or your house.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. But getting out there, with a group of friends, that's a great way.
She's saying she's having trouble meeting people out here. She
Right.
doesn't have a group of friends. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But what she does have is she has opportunity to look at all the different things going on in LA.
Mm-hmm.
It's LA. Whatever you're into, butterfly collecting, gemstones, horses, dog shows, skydiving.
The big five.
The big five. I mean, whatever your interests are, there's going to be other people here who are into it.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to maybe meet somebody that you have things in common with and,
Right.
and can have some fun
Yes,
with.
and if you want to gaze at butterflies while riding a horse, I'm sure there's a club for that too. Right?
There might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just put yourself out there and make sure that every time you leave the house, that you look a little put together and that you seem approachable. Don't be looking down at your phone. Be looking up and making eye contact with people and putting on that pretty smile of yours, Lily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Good
great
luck to you,
advice.
honey.
Thanks, Lily.
So let's talk a little bit about the guests we're having on today, Mr. Truffles.
Oh, yes. Dear, dear friends, Brown and Jay Kogen, who I've known, again, for the better part of 30 years.
A couple of very funny people
Very funny,
who have
funny,
been
funny
together forever.
Yes. And I actually, because they're writers, I asked Jay to fashion his own bio. Why not, right?
Of course. Who
Right.
could write it better?
So here's what he said about his wife, okay? Brown Kogen is a television writer and author and the mom of a handsome musical genius who is currently a senior at Stanford and the wife of a podcast host. She is enormously proud of one of those people. Okay, Jay Kogen has been in show business since he was 5 years old. He's an actor, director, stand-up, and Groundlings alum, but mostly he's written and produced many of the most popular TV and movie comedies over the last 30 years that we've all come to love, including The Simpsons, Frasier, Malcolm in the Middle, Everybody Loves Raymond. Jay's won numerous awards, including a WGA award, the Humanitas Award, a People's Choice Award, and a Golden Rose of Montrose. Whatever that is. Jay has been nominated for 14 Emmy Awards and won 4 of them. He created a show based loosely on his life, Wendell and Vinny, and he co-wrote and produced the cult comedy The Wrong Guy, which won the HBO Comedy Festival Award. Jay is currently writing and producing pilots and writing a movie he wants to direct, proudly teaching his future employers at USC, and hosting a brand new podcast called Don't Be Alone with Jay Kogen, where he brings famous, funny people on his show to talk about his personal problems. Well, I mean, if that doesn't sound like fun, I don't know what is.
That's going to be a great interview. We'll be right back with Jay and Brown.
For over 40 years, Toysher has been a staple in the Beverly Hills community. Like so many other families in the community, our family has had a long-standing love affair with Toysher chocolates. Over the years, we've formed traditions and memories around these extraordinary Swiss chocolates and the enchanting wonderland of fantasy truffle boxes inside our store. Today, our family is proud to be carrying on the Toysher tradition in Beverly Hills. Well, welcome back. We are here with Jay and Brown Kogen. And Jay, I've known for the better part of 30 years, I think. Mm-hmm. And he makes a very good living, and Brown makes that good living worthwhile.
That's right.
I'm going to say that you're a comedian because you always make me laugh.
That's sweet.
In the 14 minutes that we've known each other, you've always made me laugh, Brown.
Very, very funny.
And so here they are, married for a long time.
How long have you two been married?
It'll be 27 in May.
Almost 27 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Good run.
That's
It's been
amazing.
a good run. It was great. We're ending it today.
They do say the 27th year is the hardest.
The hardest, exactly.
So, good luck with that.
Right.
So,
So tell us, how did you two first meet?
Well, we first met when she was on a date with one of my very best friends.
That's true. Very nice guy. He was a tall Jew.
Very
which is
tall.
Very uncommon.
Yes. Rob Cohen, who was one of the groomsmen at our wedding, was dating Brown for, I don't know, what period of time? Was it a week, 2
It was not
weeks?
serious. It was obvious.
Was it a month?
It was one of my first dates with him when I met you.
Right, it was like Rob's 30th birthday or something like that. They were going out. It was supposed to be his girlfriend, Brown, me, and my girlfriend, Sultan,
salt and pepper.
Her name's Salt and Pepper.
And I'm brown sugar.
Yeah,
How
so
weird
I
is
like
that?
condiments.
Wait, you're not brown sugar.
Brown sugar
That's
is my
her
real
nickname,
full
yeah.
nickname. Brown sugar.
Yeah.
I'm sweet.
That's crazy.
My girlfriend at the time didn't make it, and so it was just the three of us. Just the three, me, Rob Cohen, and my future wife.
Told you, short you, and brown sugar.
But I
Exactly.
had heard about Jay, and when he walked in, I kind of heard angels sing. There was something I thought, oh God, I think I'm supposed to marry him.
Oh my
It was
God.
weird.
Oh
So
my gosh, I have goosebumps.
That's so.
I called my dad and said, oh, I met this guy. His name is Jay Kogen, and Dad, he seems like a mensch. And my dad's like, well, you got to chase that Kogen boy. You got to chase him till he catches you. Get it?
Oh,
Wow, we do
that's-
get it.
He
Good
had
advice,
he had a
Dad.
lot of. I mean, Jay and I, he had a girlfriend. I was dating Rob, then I wasn't. Then Jay was in a very serious relationship with someone for many years.
and then when that ended, I was doing an improv. I was in an improv group with some friends, and a mutual friend of ours, Lisa
Right.
Kudrow, was in the improv group.
And she thought we would make a good couple.
So she was sort of pushing us together.
But you
And-
knew each other. You did know each other.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Eventually, we wound up working at the same studio at Universal Studios.
Okay.
Started cozying up to each other and flirting a little bit with each other and hanging out. And eventually, we went out on our very first date on Yom Kippur.
Oh God, that's right.
Oh, my God.
That's kind
Yom
of a
Kippur.
secret. We went to a Dodger game
A Dodger
on Yom
game.
Kippur.
On Yom Kippur.
And ate hot dogs. And I typically do go to Yom Kippur. I really like Jay, and he asked me to the game, and I just thought, you know what? Why not? I'm going
Right.
to go. I had never been to a Dodger game.
She had never been to a
really
Dodger
been on a date with him. I just like, why not?
Had you been waiting for him to ask you out?
Yes, I would go watch
Since
him
that-
perform on Saturday nights. Him and my friend Lisa, and I just always would go out afterwards, and so yeah, I was waiting for him to ask me out.
What was it that finally prompted you to?
Yeah, Jay.
She's too cute. Well,
So you thought Brown was very cute. You're
Yeah.
like, let's
She is. Look
And
at
I
her.
thought
She's
he was
adorable.
adorable.
But we're hanging out together, and she comes to the show, and you weren't thinking anything long term necessarily. It's like, for now, this feels right.
It felt right, and she was adorable and cute, and so I asked her out.
Do you remember how soon the second date was?
Soon after.
I feel like we went out once and never
That was
stopped
it.
dating. We're
That's
still
kinda-
dating
that's
now.
true. Yes, that's true. We don't go out a lot,
When
but
did you have the first kiss? Was it at the game? Was it after the game? On the second date? When did that happen?
I think we kissed on the Universal lot
Oh,
during
yeah.
work. It was It
She
was.
came to visit me in my office.
Yeah,
when we kissed
that's
there.
right. But yeah, because it kind of was so seamless after we started dating.
Did you get a lot of advice from your dad along the way?
Yes.
Was he good at advising you?
My mother always said, "No chuppah, no shtuppah."
Yeah.
There
which
you go.
means like.
I love that.
But that's, let's be honest, there was shtuppah before a chuppah. But I will say that my dad, like I said earlier, chase a guy till he catches you. Don't be that kind of girl. Well, I'm very in touch with my feelings, and I'm not afraid to say how I feel. And with him, I really felt safe saying how I felt. That was for me how I knew, okay, I'm really supposed to marry him. Because when you're dating someone and it's like, oh, I called too much, or oh, I said too much. With him, I could call a million times. It would never be wrong. He could handle me. Every time I would call you and say hello, you always were happy to hear from me.
I was
There was
happy to hear
never
from you.
a feeling like, oh God, he didn't really want me to
Right.
call. It just was so incredibly safe.
That's the risk women run when they call a guy, because you don't know what he might be doing when you call him.
But he always
Yeah.
he always was there. And he used to call my machine and sing to me.
That's true.
What did
That's
you
true.
sing to her? What song?
What song did we sing?
The song from Same Time Next Year. Hello. Da, 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 da,
Can you
da.
sing some of it now?
You know what I'm talking about?
I remember the song. I don't know enough of the lyrics. I'll have to dredge up the.
The last time I felt
But like this, I was falling in love.
He would play on his piano. I get the chills.
Oh,
Yeah, those are good times, Jay.
Jay.
Still some good
There's
times.
still some good
brought it.
times.
I married my second husband first.
It's true.
So the dating starts happening. Mm-hmm. Was there a moment that you realized, I love this person and I see the rest of my life with them?
For me, very quick, immediately. Like, oh my God, of course. Of course I'm supposed to marry him. But I had certain things that I needed to accomplish before I would think of getting married. I knew that I wouldn't move in with him unless I was engaged, and I wouldn't get married until I had done something for myself career-wise. So I had a lot of rules for myself.
Right.
I knew I loved her pretty quickly. And then time came when we were considering moving in together, and she had already told me the rule. She's not going to move in unless there's marriage going on. And I thought, oh, well, I do want to move in with her, so I must want to marry her. And that's how that worked.
Okay, but I thought to myself, come on, how could he not want. I know he loves me.
This,
Like,
look
come
at
on,
this.
come on, man.
I'm very
He would
free.
come.
I like to love people, and I like to be warm and friendly and give my heart out to all people all the time. But my love, when I met her and loved her, was like, I love you.
Or do you remember the first time that you told her you loved her?
I may have said that at the Dodger game. I have no idea. I'm not sure. But I mean, it's like she was adorable right away.
So how did the engagement take place? Tell us that story.
We have to go through this very tenderly.
Yes, because
please
there's
do.
We told you already that I wouldn't move in with him until we got married. I wouldn't move in until I had a ring, and I also wanted to sort of accomplish some things. And I had my first episode of television was going to be airing in May of 1995. He was going to be coming to Houston. He wanted me to move in with him that summer. So in my mind, I thought, okay, so sometime in the next 6 weeks, I should be getting engaged. Take it away.
So I knew we're moving in together. We're going to Houston, and after that, we're going to New York to a beautiful wedding. So
And Houston was just to visit her family.
Houston was to visit her family, and to watch the big show that she made. And I thought, I'm not going to overshadow her big career moment with an engagement.
Right.
Kind of, why would I take that away from her? Why would I take that moment away from her?
Okay.
I had called her sisters and said, kind of ring advice do you want? So her sisters knew that I'm getting a ring.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's in Houston thinking, this is going to be the moment when he's going to ask me.
My family's here. Of course he would.
And
Why
I'm
would he
thinking,
propose now?
I would never deign to interfere with that moment of her. It's a career is this, and New York's going to be so romantic. It's a wedding. It's all about love. And so when we're in Houston and days go by, and I'm not proposing, one of the two of us is getting a little upset and antsy. I'm not going to say which one.
Okay.
But one
Please
of the
don't.
two of us is getting a little upset and antsy.
I was
Pouty
like,
and
we were leaving Houston. I was like, this guy hasn't proposed. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. He's
and
not-
you were feeling that, yes?
Oh yeah.
I was mean.
She was,
I
getting,
was-
she
I
was
was
getting
not-
meaner and
I-
meaner.
The jig
I
is
know.
up, no?
I'm so dumb
You
that I
don't
didn't
like
even
so
think
many
about
levels
that.
he was dumb about.
I didn't
Like,
even think about that.
Okay, keep going.
So then we go to New York. She's described the ring that she wants to me. Like we even went engagement ring shopping
No, we
one time.
didn't.
We did at the
Oh, you're right.
Antiquarius.
Oh, my gosh,
And
yeah,
so
okay.
we said, like, look at used rings, which I thought were beautiful. And it's like if she
Wait,
could just
antique
rings.
They're beautiful.
Antiquarius.
Antiquarius,
Yes,
right?
This
not
place
open
on Beverly
Zach.
Boulevard. I don't think it's open anymore,
It's
but
not,
it was
it's not.
It's
gorgeous.
Zach
thing.
Wagner.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Okay.
Sorry.
And she wanted a new ring, and she said she described the ring. The engagement story is, I'm going to propose to this woman and say I want to spend the rest of my life with you. No holds barred. I
Yeah.
spent a lot of money on a hotel room, try to make it romantic. She's complaining about many things. One of the things she complains about is she's got a dress, and I have no jewelry to go with this. So I run from the St. Regis Hotel, and when she steps in the shower, to Tiffany's and get her a sapphire and diamond necklace. And think, when she gets out of the shower, I'm going to present her with the sapphire and diamond necklace, and she's going to think I'm a hero and love me, and it's all going to be better. And so she gets out of the shower, and I present her with this thing, which the thought of it was problematic because she thought I'm trying to give her this jewelry instead of
I was
giving
waiting-
her an engagement
I
ring.
was- damn
So
ring.
this romantic gesture that I keep doing
he's
this
not
romantic.
going to ask me. He's giving me this
Yeah.
necklace instead. I was pissed.
And we go to this
Really
wedding,
bad.
and it was lovely, this lovely wedding, and we have a good time. And then we're walking around New York and Union Square, and it just comes to a head. It's just like, why are you being so horrible? And then I take out the ring and said, I have this ring, and I've been carrying it around with me for 2 weeks. And if you would just not be horrible for 3 seconds, you might be asked to get married. Okay? And then I put the ring back in my pocket.
You finish your version, and then I'll.
Okay. She saw the ring, not the ring, the box. She calmed down and said, from that point on, very pleasant. It was a really much different person, much more pleasant.
I was. I knew then. Oh, okay, so he does have a ring. Okay, so that necklace wasn't instead of. You should have
Right.
asked me when my family was there.
But so that expectation was the defeat of what could have been a romantic time, but it was a different romantic in a different way, because we came through something together, and at the end of that day, towards the afternoon at sunset, we went into the cheesiest bar in New York, that rotating bar in Broadway,
Oh, yeah,
and but the top of the Marriott.
Yeah.
And up there, I got down on a knee and I proposed to her. Said, "Will you marry me?" And she said, okay.
Let me
And
think
was-
about it. Okay.
And that was it.
So based on your version, I mean, you guys are very funny comedy writers. You come from that world. Isn't that the perfect?
Okay, maybe.
What did he do right? What were the good
what did I
things?
do?
Right. So what did he do right? Everything.
Well, you know my family. Like we have a different relationship with my. I would want my engagement separated from my family completely. My POV is, well, this is our relationship, and it was. I'd like to keep my career separate from things, so I come from it a different point of view.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he's adorable, and he did a lot of nice. Well,
this is
it all worked out.
It did work out. I moved on, but
Things have gone uphill since then. Let's just say that.
Well,
okay?
let's skip
talk.
after. So you said yes.
I said yes.
When he did finally get down, did you get down on a knee when you asked
did.
her? Tell us,
He did.
describe
I
that
did.
event to us.
I was on a rotating restaurant in the middle of New York, in the Midtown Manhattan, right in the Broadway district, and I got down on a knee, and I think it was only tourists around us proposed. You said yes, we kissed. Now,
Yeah, we.
so all that is done. So it was a formality, but it was a nice formality, and then we got to call our parents.
And then we
tell
had
them.
we had a mudslide.
Yes, we had a nice drink.
It's a chocolatey, delicious
Yes.
liquor drink. And I told the waitress, I said, "Hey, we just got engaged." She's like, "Fine, here's your mudslide."
exactly.
She didn't
Right.
care.
Yeah, she didn't
That was
care.
kind of
That's New York for you.
totally 100%, 100%.
And we had a nice trip after that. We did
Great.
have a lovely
It's
trip.
like the pressure was off.
So how long after the engagement did you guys have the wedding?
A year. We were engaged for a year
You were engaged for a year,
Yes.
and you got married in Texas?
in L.A.
You got married in LA.
Yes. I wanted to get married here because I thought for my Texas family and friends it was like a destination wedding. It's so
Right.
great.
So where was the wedding?
The Beverly Hills Hotel. It was
Oh.
very swanky.
Very swanky.
Yeah.
It was at the
I
Crystal
didn't get
Ball.
to save any money.
Is at this Crystal Ballroom, but we got married outside. The wedding was beautiful. It really was, but it was a great wedding. It was such a
62
good wedding.
Listen,
He walked down to the theme from the dating game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It
funny.
is funny.
Did you know that was happening?
I think so.
Yeah, I
we did. Yeah, yeah.
proved, got approval from a lot
And
of
then he
things.
sang to me at our wedding, which was really. I mean, he sang "The More I See You."
This is
The More
true.
Showboat. The More
I don't
See
know.
You.
That's
It's
from a
so
show. It's just a standard.
It's incredible.
I sang it as best as I can. I had rehearsed it with the band and tried to do it because she had said, "I'd like you to sing to me at my wedding."
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I said,
I did,
"Okay,
'cause I
I'm going
love
to
the
do
way
that."
you sing.
And so I sang to her at the wedding. And then a little while later, I asked family friend of ours, Stephen Eady, Steve, I said, "Will you sing something?" He said, "Okay." And he went out and said, "I'm going to sing the song Jay sang, but better."
Yeah.
And so he, sang,
He did?
he did.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
That was really
that's
fun.
amazing.
It was really
Steve and
great.
Edie were at your wedding.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she was like, "Hit the C note, Steve. That's where the money is."
Hit the high notes.
Hit the high
Oh, my
notes. She was
God.
so drunk. It was a
So
great wedding.
cute.
It was a
What a
really
fun
great
wedding.
wedding.
Beautiful.
And where did you honeymoon?
We went to Maui, and it
Four
was great.
Seasons.
The Four Seasons,
Mm-hmm.
and
A lot of mudslides there, too.
a lot of mudslides. There was what was that other drink we had there?
Lava Flow?
Lava Flow.
Yeah, the Lava Flow,
That's
yes.
right. It was the
That's
Lava
my
Flow.
favorite drink in Maui.
It's the best. I love Maui. I'm so happy in Maui. It's like my happy place.
I love
But it was
Maui.
wonderful. It was so good. And then we came home and started our life.
What would you say is the most romantic thing about Jay that like he's always done that he still does for you now?
Well, he rubs my feet when I ask or don't ask. That's pretty great. He honestly, he makes my life easier, and I feel that that's really romantic. Like he protects me from all the mundane things. He loves to run errands. Okay, let me just say that. He's always saying, if I say, "Oh, I got to go to the drugstore," "Oh, let me do it." But no, he's sweet and he's very thoughtful. I think it's honestly very romantic the way he considers me always first, with a lot of times with his family, because they live here and they need him a lot and they rely on him a lot. But I feel like you try to always
Puts you first and you feel
most
that.
of the time, yeah, I really do. Like when I first saw him, there was something about him when I said, "Oh, heard Angel sing." Like I could tell that he was a mensch. I remember thinking back to my dad's friends, "Oh, like Uncle Alan's such a mensch. I wonder what he was like when he was my age." Or my dad's such a mensch. What was he? I knew immediately that Jay was that guy. He was young, but I knew, okay, this guy is only going to get better, and he's a mensch now. He's going to be the kind of guy I want to be with forever. And I knew it, and I was right.
Personally,
It's amazing.
for me, because I've known Jay for the better part of 30 years.
Wow.
And, met him in, I guess, our late 20s. I mean, I think you've got, 20 or 30 years on me. But, but my takeaway also was you don't really get to meet that many super talented people that are also that kind. and
Yeah.
What was
generous
my
and-
most romantic moment with you?
I think
honestly?
it was when we were rehearsing Bunch Bunk Bed Brothers.
Sure, that's
Oh
right.
my God, bunk bed.
Yes,
brothers.
that's right.
That's right.
Oh,
That's how we
God.
know each other. Isn't that crazy?
That's right.
What is Bunk
We knew
Bed
each other
Brothers?
before
And
that.
Jay always tries to
Maybe.
plan
Well,
things.
Bunk Bed Brothers was a pilot that Jay wrote that I'm pretty sure I tested for.
Yes.
Right?
You not only tested for you, didn't you get?
I may have gotten it.
Yeah, you got it. You were in it.
That was a good
And,
show, but boy, that was...
But yeah, it was. We had known each other.
Yeah, we've known each other through Hank Azaria and the poker.
That's
group
right,
and-
our poker group.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've always, maybe not like you, but I've always adored him.
Yeah.
I've always thought it was a
Now,
nice
I
dude.
would say that my most romantic stuff is not the day-to-day stuff, but on events like her birthdays and things like that,
yeah.
where there's a very tender moments where the birthdays can be emotional and tough, and they can be good. And I'm trying to make those as celebratory and as special as those things can be. That's where I feel like I go out of my way to
You're
show.
right.
The other stuff is day-to-day stuff.
Right.
You're right, because my whole family's still back in Houston, Texas. Jay's my family here. Like, birthdays in my family were always really important, so we're half birthdays. Jay has become not just a husband, but he really makes me feel like he loves me like not just a wife and a woman, but like a family. He does the things that my parents would do for me, like on my birthdays. He just goes all out. It's like I don't even have to tell him that kind of stuff. No, but he just instinctually knows, and he makes plans, and he makes big blow-up signs and balloons. Like, it's really nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. We also took a very romantic trip to Europe last year.
recently.
Amazing. That was very nice. We went to Florence and Paris.
Really sweet.
And very lovely time. I actually wanted to also say what she does that's very romantic, how she makes my life better. On every single occasion that could be mundane or ordinary, she makes them special. Whether it's just serving dinner on a plate where I wouldn't put it on a plate, or literally putting flowers out and making fresh cut flowers, making the world that I live in beautiful and nice, but also special occasions even more special, and opening our home to people and entertaining in a way that I would never would. Those are the things that she absolutely brings to my life that I would.
That's really nice.
That's
just
really
different.
sweet.
Yeah, I like to make things nice for you. Your bed.
What else, Mrs. Truffles?
Well, why don't we ask Jay and Brown? You know, you have this successful marriage after all these years. What advice would you give to young couples starting out or people looking for love?
Well, I'm going to give some advice.
Okay, give some advice.
Tell us the advice.
Well,
you have.
it's actually, again, it's kind of stealing from my mother. My mom and dad were married for 60-something years when my dad died, and they were truly affectionately in love with each other. And they went through a lot of stuff. And my mother would always say, you know your marriage is in trouble when, basically, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how intense things are, if you cannot be distracted for a moment with humor, you got real problems. Like, I don't think, as hard as things have been, certain things, we've had patches. I mean, every marriage goes through tough times and stuff. I think just being grounded in what you really have is a key to a successful marriage, not taking everything so seriously, and just always choosing each other, choosing to be together. Like, even when things aren't going great, you have to want to be together and keep your family together more than anything else. You know, and that is what I think. You're committing to someone. You wouldn't take a job and commit to a job and blow your work off, and you wouldn't, and I wouldn't. And you got to treat your marriage with that kind of respect, I think. That's what I think.
Good advice. One of the things we do on the show is we have a gift bag for you guys.
Wow.
And part of that is unpacking it together.
Swag. I do a podcast. I give nothing to anybody.
Well, wait till you see what we... So what I've prepared here for you is a romantic
This is
weekend
so-
in a bag.
Oh, wow.
Best way to unpack your baggage.
Okay, by the way, that's just so cool that y'all picked.
Can we unpack the bag?
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
So all of this is
Hold on, let's do one at a time.
Yeah.
Come on, let's do one at a time. First, an amazing bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
Every
Laurent
romantic
Perrier.
weekend
That's the good
starts
stuff.
there.
That's Brut, which
That
is
is the
what
good
I
stuff.
prefer.
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic. So let's
so
start with that.
Weekend in a bag is
You
what
pull
this
one.
is.
I'm going to pull some.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the Toysher bag.
It's in the Toysher, red
big
Toysher
shiny
bag.
bag.
Look out.
What is that?
Those
Say
are
it for the
that's
radio audience.
amaretti. So what that is that's like a cross between a meringue and a truffle with an amaretto cream filling inside, and it is heaven.
This looks like heaven.
Yeah,
I
we
know what
discovered
this
those in
is.
Zurich, and we
I know what this is.
insisted on carrying them to the shop.
I am sworn off alcohol and truffles, but otherwise it's been great. So
Not
far.
me.
No, I'm
More for
joking.
me.
Now you have
Now in our hands.
This is a box of champagne truffles.
This is what we're famous for.
Okay.
It's a recipe our factory in Zurich has been making for over 75 years. And it's a recipe we're told was discovered in a dream. And that is about 80% of what we sell. It's
my
exquisite.
It's made with Dom Perignon.
Yeah.
Ooh, I
And you're
love
getting the milk and the dark.
There's two
But
recipes.
but also the box.
The box,
The box is
fantastic.
adorable.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
box is
This is so
fantastic. It's a little
sweet.
kid holding a bottle of champagne.
This
It's
is
popping.
so lovely.
yeah, we're not done, guys. Keep
All
going.
right.
Okay, it's my turn to
No, you pull that out. That's my turn.
Did you put the plane tickets in?
Okay, hold on. Here is lovely. What is this?
Those are our Melatello cookies. So all of the
Lemon,
oranges
I
that
love
Mr. Toysher uses are from Sicily. All the lemons are from the Amalfi Coast. And that has both on these almond biscuits. They're amazing.
So good.
And
This is so nice.
Oh,
and
this is
speaking of your foot
the creme de la
massages.
creme.
Oh my God.
So,
this
Mrs.
looks-
Truffles, take
Can I
this
open
away.
this up?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So that's something that I make, and that's actually going to be available for sale starting in March on our online in our store.
This is Mrs. Truffles body
Oh
butter.
my God.
This
You
is
don't
the
eat
body.
this,
you could,
could.
but
It's
it's
food
all
grade.
food grade. But
but you put it on.
But this is
Yeah.
how she gets a little back rub every morning.
it's
my
great.
audience.
This is so.
Oh, you can't believe it.
It's all the best
Yeah.
things you could ever put on your
Yeah,
skin.
yeah,
Put it
Yeah,
on your face?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's the only thing I use.
Yeah,
You're beautiful.
Yeah.
Your
Very
skin
lovely.
looks.
Yeah,
It's
this
very
is,
lovely.
Smell it.
That's
And it smells
incredible.
like chocolate,
You
'cause
could-
it's-
That is
it's got
so
cocoa.
Does smell like chocolate.
incredible.
Like 50% of it is just cocoa butter, so
I
it
was-
has a real chocolate
Yeah,
smell. Yeah.
This is heaven and
Heaven.
earth.
And we had
This is
delightful
this is
charcuterie
going.
on the way in.
It keeps
So
going.
it's on top. And then
Oh, this is
finally,
fun.
this is all wrapped up.
This is fun.
No,
And
this is
unwrap it.
I would love to get this bag sometime,
is
right?
I'm going to make one for you.
You will, baby?
Yeah.
It
I
looks
just
like
want your body
Y'all
butter.
are
right,
so
here we go.
cute.
So this is a fun little thing.
Y'all are cute.
This is a fun little
Oh,
thing.
look at this little candle,
This
roses.
Is, this is a.
That's-
Like your love, as your love is pure, so is the beeswax
I
candle.
love beeswax.
Yeah.
Oh, look how gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm told they only use beeswax
This is-
candles in cathedrals because it doesn't create.
Doesn't
Yes.
smoke and blacken
Yeah.
the cathedral.
This is
Yeah.
so pretty.
Extraordinary.
I love this
No.
color.
You have the weekend now
Wow.
all around you. Truffles.
The music singer?
Cookies, maybe. You got champagne.
Fantastic.
Candlelight.
This is
This is
amazing,
body
Jay.
butter.
This is fantastic. I'm going to take it to my improv class. You don't mind, right?
He doesn't stop.
Take it to the
He
guys.
doesn't stop. Okay.
Hey, dude, champagne truffles. Woo!
God.
Sorry.
Have a wonderful weekend with that.
Thank you. This has been so much a pleasure.
We
Yeah.
loved having
We
you.
don't
Come back.
deserve it.
You
Yes,
do.
I
We
do.
don't. Well, she
You
does. I don't
absolutely
deserve
deserve
it.
I want to come back.
I feel like you guys maybe love each other even a little more.
I
after
feel like I do. I
having
feel
this experience.
Put a percentage on that.
I think 17%.
You- That's a number.
I knew it.
17's a very
Yes,
special number in my
17%.
family.
It is?
That's
Wait,
insanity.
Jay, he's not kidding though. Don't you feel? I feel like I love you a little more.
I love
Stop
you.
with the jokes.
I can't.
I know. it's like a tick. It's like a tick.
I can't. But I love
that's
you.
the-
I continue to love you.
Joy of life is humor.
Thank y'all.
Okay.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you
guys.
so much for
Lovely.
joining us, you guys. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was our dear friends Jay and Brown Kogen, and we will be right back with more for Love and Chocolate. This podcast is being brought to you by Beverly Hills Toysher, Chocolates of Switzerland. Beverly Hills Toysher at 371 North Camden Drive in Beverly Hills has been serving up truffles, pralines, dipped fruits, marzipans, and our world-famous chocolate bars for over 40 years. So, next time you're in Beverly Hills, why don't you come by and visit or shop online at beverlyhillstoysher.com. Mrs. Truffles, is it just me or is it just more fun every time?
Oh my goodness. Jay and Brown were so adorable.
I feel like we could put them up on stage in the Catskills and it would sell out for the month of August. They're so fun. And who knew there was going to be so much singing on the show? I certainly didn't know. Did you know?
It was kind of a sing-songy show today.
It really was. It was like Love and Chocolate, the musical.
Love and Chocolate the musical. Stay tuned.
Something to aspire to, don't you think?
Yeah, it was a great time with them. I knew it would be, but I had no idea they would be so cute.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, I've known Jay for so long, and I didn't really know any of those stories. So once again, it's just so great to be able to sit in front of couples, that I've known for as long as I have and make these new discoveries. You know, it's the spice of life, isn't it?
It's the spice of life.
So, again, guys, thanks so much for joining us. And we're going to do it again next week, aren't we? Yeah, I think we are. Well, say goodbye, Mrs. Truffles.
Goodbye, Mrs. Truffles.
This show is brought to you by Beverly Hills Toysher Chocolates of Switzerland, home of the world's first and finest champagne truffles. Join us next week for more adventures in everlasting love.